Hey everyone, welcome back to MNMMPT NAATI YouTube channel. This is Manmohit. Now in today's video, I am going to show you all how to book the PTE exam in this year, especially after the changes that it went through on 16th of November. Pearson has updated their website a bit. The interface, the options are here and there and all that stuff. So if you are going to give your PTE exam for the very first time, this video is definitely for you. Also, if you have given the exam before but you're still finding it difficult to book the exam by yourself, I can show you how to do that step by step in this particular video. So the first step is just go to your browser and search for Book PTE Exam. Just these three words should be more than enough in any of the browser that you use. Afterwards, you'll get the very first link from the official Pearson's website. That's very important. Always make sure it's the official website, which is pearsonpte.com. Click the very first link. Let the page load up. So you will see something like this. Click on continue for cookies. Now, they've made it a lot simpler according to me, because prior to this, we used to look for the option of where to book the test, but now it's very straightforward. As you can see on the top right corner, if you have got your Pearson account already with you, you can click on sign in just now. If not, if you want to create an account, or even if you want to sign in later on, you can still do that. Just click on book a test on the top right corner. You'll see this particular menu. Over here, as you can see, it says check test availability and book. Click on that option. It will open up a new link with the name of my PTE. That's the profile. Now when this page loads up, you'll see something like this: find an appointment. Now, based on wherever you live, you can search for the location, or you can just use current location. By allowing it, it'll automatically display all the nearest test centers which are available near to you. If not, for example, right now I'm in Adelaide, so I'll just search for Adelaide. Whichever city or country you are, you can search based on that, and then click on search. Afterwards, you would be able to see all the test centers which are near to you. I can already see that 405 miles, it's way far from me. And as you can see, it's in Melbourne. And in Adelaide, there's 2 test centers which are right near to me. So both of these test centers will have different test availability slots. So based on whenever and whichever time you want to give your exam, you can book based on that. Now, one question I do get asked a lot is, does choosing a test center matters? According to me, it doesn't really, but then it comes with a disclaimer. Whenever a new test center opens up, or whenever they go through some sort of renovation stage, they change their microphones, they change their headphones, they change any sort of things in there, just avoid that test center for some time. If they have went through some sort of changes, you'll get to know through your friends and all that. The simple reason for that is, since it's a computer-based exam, technical issues happen here and there, technical glitches. So whenever they change their headphones or anything big or major, there is a chance that you may face those technical issues, and you are in those experimental stages. You don't want to be there because you're paying good money. So prefer booking the test centers which are just running from a long time. They haven't gone through any sort of changes. For me, I know personally, after giving so many exams, that these test centers from last at least 1 year, they haven't gone through any sort of changes. Yes, the November changes that happened worldwide, but in terms of headphones, in terms of the places, in terms of the seating and all that, they haven't gone through any sort of changes. So book any session, book any center, doesn't matter. Let's say if you want to, now if you click on here, you would be able to see the dates available for this one. For Pearson Professional Center, this one, the earliest available is 26th. And let's see for the other one, again, the earliest available is 26th. Now let's say if you're planning to give the exam on 27th of April, I can clearly see that 27th is not available in this one, but then 27th is available in this one. So I'll always pick that center. Never go by the way that, what if I pick this center, my friend did not get their scores in that center. It never happens. I've personally given an exam in both of these centers, and I've actually got 90 in both of the centers using different headphones. And the simple reason for that is, I focus on my strategies, I focus on how to do a topic, I focus on how to do my exam in the best way possible, rather than working out, okay, what if I really need that seat, I really need that center in order to clear my exam. It doesn't really matter. So once you have selected the date, afterwards it will show you the available time slots: 8 a.m., 10:15, 2:45 and 7:15. Now again, it depends on person to person. I am not really an early morning person, so if I were to give an exam, most of my exams have been done in the 10:15 a.m. slot, because I prefer having a good night's sleep, having a bit of a light breakfast, and then giving my exam. Now, I'm not asking you to copy me exactly. Every person is different. In that case, if you feel that you're a morning person, you wake up at 5 or 6 a.m. every day normally, go for your 8 a.m. slot, because you may be the most active at that point in time. And some people, they work during the night, they need a good day's sleep, they'll go with 7:15 p.m. or maybe 2:45 p.m. So depending on what your daily schedule is, you should be booking your exam time slot based on that. Never alter your sleep cycle because of the exam. There's 4 slots available. You're more than welcome to pick any one. Again, there's a misconception out there that the difficulty of the exam is easiest in the morning, hardest in the evening and all. It's all misconceptions. It never happens. You can get the most difficult exam during the day, and you can get the most easiest exam during the night as well. There's no hard and fast rule. It's purely based on luck. So let's say you pick 10:15 a.m. and then you click on this book button. It'll take its sweet time and then open up the next page. Now, this is one final step. Here you will be able to confirm if you have selected all the things correctly, like your exam date, exam start time, then the length of the exam. As you can see, it has reduced now. It used to be 3 hours. It's now 135 minutes, which basically means about 2 hours 15 minutes. It doesn't usually take that long anyway. And that's the location where you have booked your exam. Now, after this, if you had already signed in before, then it would just ask you to check out. Since we haven't signed in, now it will ask you to either sign in, or if you haven't got your account, then you have to create your new account. So I'll click on that button. Since I already have my account, I'll straight away go with login. But just for new people, what you will need to do is click on create my PTE account, just so to show you what sort of information are they asking for. Now, one thing to keep in mind is whatever first name, last name you're going to enter in here, it has to be matching your passport. You cannot have any sort of different name as compared to your passport, because if you do, they will not let you sit for the exam, and then you will have to go with them over getting the refund and all that stuff. You don't want to be involved in that. And afterwards, it's just a matter of giving your email address, pick any username that's available, your gender, your password, city of birth, country of birth, and country of citizenship. So whichever country you have got the passport for. So after this, the next page would be country of residence, city, address, country code. Yes, I'm ready to book the exam. And if you feel that you require some special arrangements, like you need some sort of a different type of desk, or maybe a standing desk, or some sort of things which you feel you have got some medical conditions which you want them to be aware of, you can click on here. No, I require special arrangements for the test, and understand it will postpone the test booking, obviously based on when those special requirements can be met. But if you are all good to go, just click on the first option, create account, and continue booking. Afterwards, it's just a matter of checking out. Else, if you already have your account, you can just straight away click on the login button. And once you click on login button, it'll ask you for your username and your password. Once you enter them both and click on login, so afterwards it'll give you 2 pages of your questions that you've already answered. If you feel you want to make some sort of changes, you can. If not, just proceed to the next question. That would be one page that you would be getting in order to book your exam. It says, which language do you speak mostly at home? Now, very important thing, I've seen many people making mistakes in this, and just to fool Pearson, they'll select English just to show Pearson that, my first language is English. Forget about getting more marks or getting any positive out of it. You actually lose marks because of that. What this question means is, you're telling Pearson the first language you speak at home is this. Let's say if I select Hindi, or let's say if I select Nepali, there's a huge difference in selecting these languages, because whatever language you select over here, you're telling Pearson that, look, this is my first language. And then what Pearson is going to do is, while checking your exam, they are going to compare your answers with a native your language speaker. So for example, if I select Hindi and then I give my exam, Pearson is going to take my speaking answers and they are going to compare and give me scores based on a 90 native Hindi speaker. A Hindi speaker who got 90 just to match the accent. If I, let's say, if my first language is Punjabi and I end up selecting Chinese, for example, now what that simply means is that if I select Chinese as my first language, Pearson is expecting me to speak a Chinese accent, which I certainly cannot. And if I cannot speak a certain accent, doesn't matter how good of a speaker I am, Pearson is not going to give me a full score for my speaking because according to them, I'm not anywhere close to a 90 native Chinese speaker. So always make sure you select the correct language over here. It's a very small question, but it makes a huge difference. So if I were you, I would always select Punjabi over here because that's my first language, and then I'll proceed towards the next question. Next one is I've read the ID policy, so that's basically terms and conditions. And afterwards, I agree. Terms and conditions, I agree. How did you hear about? So I consent to my score being allocated. Now this is basically if you are in Australia or if you want to move to Australia and want to provide your scores to the Department of Home Affairs and the Immigration. If you want, after getting the result, you can share your profile results with Immigration. Or if you want to do it now, you can pre-select these options so that once you get your scores, Department of Home Affairs and Immigration will automatically have the access for your scores. So you don't have to do that step again. I prefer just clicking on it always. It doesn't really matter for me now. But then it's, if you want, you can do it now, or if you want, you can even do it later on. Next is, how did you hear about PTE exam? That's just basically a survey for them, just for their marketing purposes, just to see how can they grab more students. So you can just select, let's say, internet search or friend or family. Which country are you planning to study, work, or settle in? Whichever country you are planning to settle in, let's say Australia. What best describes your current situation? So basically, what is your current scenario? Are you working full time? Are you a student in a university at the moment, or what are you doing at the moment? Let's say you can say working full time, or if you're a student, you can click on student. Then why are you taking PTE academic? Now, this is again a survey question, and it doesn't really matter whatever you pick over here. I've seen a lot of people out there thinking that, okay, if I say to Pearson that, look, I need 65 for nursing registration, then if you go and give your exam, they'll deliberately deduct marks and not give you 65. It's a world-renowned exam. They don't want to do these kind of dodgy stuff, honestly, because if they do, it's one day or another, it's going to come out. So according to me, it doesn't really matter. What matters is your performance. What matters is how well you do the exam. Honestly, I've given exam by selecting nursing registration, which I'm nowhere close to. I'm not doing nursing. I haven't done nursing ever, and I've still got 79 plus. Forget about 65. So just select any option here. Again, I cannot recommend you select this or that. Just go for study, citizenship, anything that you want. And afterwards, click on next button. And afterwards, this would be the last step. Basically, just read through this a bit, like what time to be there on test day, what to expect, what sort of ID documents you need to take with you. It's most likely it's going to be a passport that you have to take with yourself, and also being on time. If you are going to give your exam for the first time, you have to be there 30 minutes at least prior so that they can register your fingerprints, your palm, and all that stuff. If you have given the exam before, then even if you just reach 15 minutes prior, it should be all good. But I always recommend my students not to be there so early, not to be there so late. Because if you are there 1 hour early, you're sitting with other students discussing the exam in a nervous environment, it'll just make you more nervous. If you're going to give the exam for the first time, reach there 30 minutes prior. If you have given the exam before, just reach 15-20 minutes prior, should be more than enough. And afterwards, the final step would be to agree. And once you agree, it will ask you for your card details. You enter that, click on pay, check out, you'll receive the confirmation email. And this is how you can book your exam. Once you book your exam, afterwards, if you feel that you have to cancel, reschedule, or anything like that, all the details would be there in your email. Check your email, go through the steps, maybe chat with Pearson, give them a call to rebook and all that stuff, reschedule. But please bear in mind that there may be some sort of fee being charged if you reschedule your exam very near to your actual exam date. So bear those things in mind. All these things would be there in your email ID. So I hope this video was a bit of a helpful one for you. If you or any of your friends are going to give their exams soon, you can share this video with them so that they can also benefit. And also, if you need any sort of help or guidance from us, we do run one-on-one consultations, 30 minutes or 1 hour, one-on-one, no one else. Over there, you can ask us any questions, get feedback for your speaking, which is the most important. If you have done a mock test and you want it checked by us and get a feedback on where do you stand and what needs to be done to improve, all those things can be arranged in 30 minutes or 1 hour consultations. You can get in touch with us on Instagram or Facebook. You can search for M&MM NAATI, or the links are in the description as well. You can search for the links in there. And for NAATI as well, we do run the one-on-one consultations, 30 minutes or 1 hour. Mock tests and all that stuff can be done in there. And if you need the prediction files for NAATI Hindi, Punjabi or Gujarati, we have got 3 separate files which has got the exam dialogue audios in there, and we keep on updating it every now and then whenever we get some new dialogues. If you want that, again, you can get in touch with us on Instagram or Facebook. With that, I'm done with this video. If you have any sort of questions, or if you want any specific video that you want us to create the content on first, you can post them in the comment down below, and we'll change our schedule based on that. We'll put those videos first and prioritize them and make those videos first for you so that you can clear your exam very early. With that, take care, stay safe, all the best if you have got your exam coming very soon, and I'll see you guys in the next one.